In this video, we're going to talk about one of the garden's most captivating flowers, the sweet pea. For centuries, people have just adored its elegant climbing vines and that amazing fragrance. But this famous beauty also holds a pretty dangerous secret. So let's unravel the story of the sweet pea. And wow, it is so easy to see why they're this popular. Sweet peas are just famous for their delicate, frilly flowers. They almost look like butterflies, don't they? And they come in this stunning rainbow of colors. But the real showstopper, it's their incredible fragrance. It's this sweet blend of honey and orange that has been captivating people since way back in the 17th century. Okay, but before we get totally lost in its history and how you can grow these beauties yourself, we have to talk about something really, really important. There's a crucial warning when you do a dress, and it all starts with that deceptive name. The name is pretty misleading, isn't it? It's got sweet and pea right there in the name. So you gotta wonder, can you pop these pods open and snack on them like you would with regular garden peas? And the answer is a very, very clear and absolute no. They're toxic. Ornamental sweet peas, the ones we grow for their beautiful flowers, are poisonous. They are not safe for humans, and they are definitely not safe for your pets. So please, I'm serious, never, ever eat them. So what's the deal here? How can one type of pea be a vegetable and the other one be toxic? Well, it all comes down to their family tree. Just think of them as distant cousins, but from completely different branches of the family. The toxic ornamental sweet pea, that comes from the genus Lathyrus. The edible garden pea that we all love to eat, that's from the genus Pisum. And that one little difference in their scientific name, well, it changes absolutely everything. Yet, if you were to eat a lot of these Lathyrus seeds, it could lead to a really serious condition called lathyrism. See, they have this toxin in them called bapin, and it basically messes with your body's ability to make collagen. And you need collagen. It's the essential protein that gives structure to your bones, your skin, your blood vessels, the whole shebang. It's a powerful reminder that just because something is beautiful doesn't mean it's safe. All right. So with that critical safety warning made crystal clear, let's switch gears and explore how this beautiful but dangerous flower even started its journey. It's actually a fascinating story that takes us from a quiet little monastery garden all the way to global stardom. So our story kicks off way back in 1696. There was this Sicilian monk, Francisco Capani, and he's the first one who ever wrote about this fragrant wildflower. For almost 200 years, it was just a kind of humble garden plant. But then, in the late 1800s, a Scottish nurseryman named Henry Eckford, people started calling him the Sweet Pea King, he saw its potential. He literally dedicated his life to transforming it, breeding those larger, more colorful, and just spectacular varieties we love today. But the real craze, that ignited in 1901. It was a complete stroke of luck. A chance mutation produced the Countess Spencer variety. It had these huge, wavy petals and just created a floral sensation. Gardeners all over the world just had to have it. So, are you feeling inspired? Want to grow a piece of that history in your own backyard? Awesome. Let's dive into a practical guide. With the right care, you can absolutely bring these stunning flowers to life. First up, what do they love? Well, sweet peas are total sun worshippers. They need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sun every single day. They absolutely thrive in rich, well-drained soil that's just a little bit alkaline, kind of like the Mediterranean hillsides where they first came from in Sicily. This makes them perfect for temperate climates all around the world. Oh, and they're thirsty plants, so you gotta keep their soil consistently moist. And here's a little pro tip for you. If you want an explosion of flowers instead of just a bunch of leaves, use a fertilizer that's high in phosphorus like bone meal instead of one that's high in nitrogen. Planting them is actually wonderfully straightforward. You just start by enriching your soil with some compost, then sow the seeds about 2.5 centimeters deep. Do this in late winter or early spring. Since it's an annual, this kicks off their entire life cycle for the year. And listen, because these things are born to climb, they absolutely need a sturdy trellis right from the get-go. Once the young plants are about 10 to 15 centimeters tall, just pinch their tips. That'll encourage bushier growth. And you want to know the best part? Harvesting is just a simple snip of the stem, and the more flowers you pick, the more they'll bloom for you. It's a win-win. And when we say they need support, we really, really mean it. These vigorous vines are ambitious. They can reach for the sky, growing up to 2.4 meters tall. That's almost 8 feet. And this just shows you why having that trellis ready isn't just a suggestion, it is absolutely essential for letting these climbers reach their full, breathtaking potential. Of course, just like any popular plant in the garden, sweet peas do have some enemies. You've got slugs and snails, which just love to munch on the young seedlings. You'll also want to keep an eye out for aphids, they can spread viruses, and powdery mildew. That's that white coating you sometimes see on the leaves, especially later in the season. Alright, so we've covered the crucial warning, the fascinating history, and the practical growing guide. To finish things up, let's just run through a few incredible facts that show there's so much more to the sweet pea than meets the eye. Okay, for starters, did you know the sweet pea is a total team player in the garden? Because it's a legume, it naturally fixes nitrogen in the soil, which helps out all its neighboring plants. How cool is that? It also has a surprising place in science history. It was actually used in early genetics experiments by a guy named Reginald Punnett to study something called gene linkage. And in the language of flowers, it has this beautiful double meaning. It symbolizes blissful pleasure, but it's also a way to say a graceful, thankful goodbye after a wonderful visit. Speaking of goodbyes, a cut stem will only last about 4 to 5 days in a vase, so a short but incredibly sweet life. And finally, there's a sweet pea for pretty much every season. Different varieties have been specially bred to bloom in the shorter days of winter or the long sunny days of summer. Alright, and that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.